Please stand for and it's court.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll start off with a roll call. Mayor Lindsay,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Here.
Councilor Weeks, Councilor Crane,
Here.
Councilor Humbert.
Here.
We have a quorum. We may proceed.
Thank you. First item of business is discussion approved change order for phase 3 on west side of community center. Can I get a motion for that?
I think we need to approve the agenda before we move on.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now, a motion for discussion action, approve change order for phase 3 on west side of community center.
Make a motion for discussion and action, approve change order for phase 3 on the west side of community center.
And a second?
I'll second.
All right.
Good morning. At the community center, they've been working hard and everything, and for phase 3, there is a change order in need for the slab where the extension to the roof. The first change order is to add a concrete slab underneath where the roof extension is going to be, to that whole backside where the doors are. The reason that this is needed and wanted is it's going to make it so much better for all of our guests and everybody unloading, loading. It's just mud back there right now. And that's where everybody comes in and out. It's also for safety measures when it comes to fire escapes. Trying to get out those doors. So the concrete slab will make everything much better. And the second change order is the original extension of the roof. It was originally to be attached to the building. You can't do that because it can't withhold the snow, the amount of snow that we get there. So it needed to be changed to where they're gonna put new trusses against the building. If you go up there, you'll see now there's trusses on the outside. They're gonna put new ones and they need to attach it to that. Because it cannot, the original plan won't hold the snow, so it'll collapse the wall. So that's the reason for the 2 change orders. If anybody has any questions,
More concrete.
basically, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, unfortunately, the engineer, when they came out and they designed it originally, he did not inquire about the structure of the wall. And made some assumptions on the structure of that wall. And then when Archuleta went to start the work to attach the overhang to the wall, they realized that structurally that wall would not withhold the snow load. And so we had to have it re-engineered, and we're having those trusses put in.
Any other questions?
Okay, well, the roll call vote on item A. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Councilor Weeks, is not here. Councilor Crane,
Aye.
Councilor Humbert,
Aye.
pass. Oh, that's. You here.
Next item B, discussion action, approve Alvin Riley as committee member on airport transition committee.
I make a motion for discussion action on item B, approve Alvin Riley as committee member on airport transition committee.
And a second,
Second.
any discussion? All right,
Okay, roll call vote on item B. Mayor Pro Tem Howell,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Hubbard.
Aye.
Pass.
The next item is, I need a motion for discussion action on approved KAXX business plan for advancing transportation services to Angel Fire.
Make a motion for discussion action item C, approve KAXX business plans for advancing transportation services to Angel Fire.
Second. Okay. Who's gonna present this item?
All right.
This business plan was put together, reviewed, edited, and presented to the council by the members of the committee, and it is a request that was made from Colfax County to see such a business plan. It is not the final business plan that's going to be presented to the FAA at all. That's a lot more work that's going to be involved in that. So this is, as the mayor said, a 30,000-foot view of the situation that we plan to show Colfax County that we can approve or that we can operate this airport as a village. There's many more steps that have to be done formally with the FAA directly as far as business plans and applications and compliance plans and so forth go. So this is just the intermediate step to begin the process with Colfax County and to get that first resolution agreed to so that we can then step forward with the approach to the FAA for the transfer. Okay, does that make sense? Any other questions?
No, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will say that when the county commission discussed the possibility of transferring the airport from the county to the village of Angel Fire, one of the things that one of the commissioners, Commissioner Kern, requested is that she felt that before she was willing to move forward with investigating that transfer, that the village would need a business plan. Her concern was, does the village understand the operation of the airport? And are we prepared to take on the tasks that are required to operate the airport? I read this plan. I think it will suffice for what Commissioner Kern was looking for. This is going to be presented next Tuesday to the commission, along with the resolution that will basically authorize the county staff to move forward with the due diligence required to transfer the airport. The resolution in itself won't approve the transition. It'll only approve the county, the commission will be authorizing the staff to spend the time and money needed by the county to do the due diligence. And we'll also be presenting to the council a similar resolution to authorize us. And these resolutions were recommended by our legal counsel, our legal counsel has brought on a specialist in this area to help us that has experience in similar transfers, property transfers. And that was their recommendation before we spend a lot of money, and it's gonna cost money to do the legal work for this transfer. Before we spend the money, we need to get in writing a commitment from both sides. And that's what this resolution is gonna represent next Tuesday from both the county and from the council.
Council, question? Right.
Okay.
So at what point will this council see a projected budget for the village in case this all goes through?
That is a great question, Mayor Pro Tem. If this is approved, I have a schedule from our legal counsel of the next steps. But if you're looking for a budget, it's probably, I would say it's probably gonna take us about a month to have our team pull that together, and figure out the layout within the chart of accounts and everything on how this is gonna be. Once the resolution's passed, the county then will be able to work with us, present us all of their budgetary information, and we can then try and work that into our system. The accounting structure for the county and the village are very different. So there will be some work to try and change the way things are reported at the village as opposed to the county, but that should give us a good idea. We anticipate there being some savings, because of a lot of the equipment and the work that the county has to do, because they're so remote, they have to pay to have done and send people to have, actually from down valley, to here to do the work. And our facilities are a mile and a half away. So we're anticipating some savings over what the county is expending right now.
And if all goes smoothly, we anticipate this whole process was gonna take
A
a year.
year,
We're estimating a year, yes, sir.
we're estimating a year with the FAA and everything. Is that,
This,
you think that's short?
that's a good estimate, but who knows? They already have told us that this is not an everyday thing that they do, swapping airport sponsorships. So we have to actually start over again. We don't get to use what's already been done. We have to start from scratch. So that we anticipate that's gonna take a long time, not only to get it together, but then once it gets approved, it's gotta go up. They told us all the way to Washington DC to get approval. So that series of approvals will take who knows how long.
You got a lot of signatures you're gonna have to chase down.
Yes.
The one thing we will ask from the council as well as the county commission is to have y'all contact our state senators and state representatives, because, their voice is gonna have a lot more impact on the speed of this than our voice is. So we're gonna need support from our federal representatives and our state representatives in order to push this along at the fastest possible speed, which is not gonna be fast.
Yeah, I mean, even with, to be able to, clear the airport of snow so flights can get in here, be an important, I think, role in pushing this forward to here, because I know, pilots who had to fly to Taos because we got 2 inches of snow.
Yes, snow removal both on the runway itself and ultimately even on the aircraft.
Yeah,
Be one of our
de-icing.
concerns for taking off, if it is snowing. Our representative that coordinates our airport is in Fort Worth, at the FAA Center there. Her name's, Allison Brooks. So she visited here before, so she's situation, we've been in touch with her. And then her boss actually visited us last week. Coincidentally, it had nothing to do with his transfer, but we got some good information from him on how this was all gonna work. So I hadn't introduced myself. I guess Lawrence Davis, I'm on the chairman of the Airport Transportation Committee.
So this plan indicates that right now the county's spending about $147,000 a year. Does that come out of the county general fund or?
It does come out of, well, so the county has a separate fund for the airport. And so the revenue that comes into the airport, also feeds the expenses of the airport. And then, but this 147 that they're representing here is what would come out of the general fund. So they make money, gas sales, things like that. And that money goes into the airport as well, but yeah, because they're actually they didn't have full access to the county's budget when they were coming up with their numbers. But this year, the county's estimating a loss of $163,000 at the airport out of the general fund. That's in excess of what the money they spend that they're gonna make from the sale of gasoline and rentals.
On the other hand, in the last 20 years, we've received right around 4.4 million from the FAA for grants to improve everything at the airport, so.
They have almost 3 million in grants outstanding right now. And the county's big challenge is, right now, I don't know if y'all know, but the county's in severe financial condition. And their concern is, like, we just were offered an additional $286,000 from New Mexico DOT for some work that needs to be done on, I think, on the apron. Is it on the apron or something? I think it's on the apron. And the county got down the money for the match. It's a 10% match. I mean, it's only $30,000, but the money is so tight at the county. So there are concerns like that, but there are there's about $3 million currently in grants that the county has received that are working. And haven't been spent yet, like for the new hangar construction, $1.2 million. New lights was about $1 million. We have the fire department grant still hanging out there, and that was about $650,000. And then this new apron work grant that we got, I think it was $286,000. That, again, the county struggles with the grant matches that are required.
So it may be too soon to know the answer to this, but do we feel that this is gonna be a transfer of property, or is the village gonna have to put up some money to?
So I don't know exactly the answer to that right now, and I don't want to negotiate in public. I will tell you, it's gonna cost the village money. There's no getting around it. We're gonna have legal fees. My estimate on legal fees is gonna be close, probably $60,000-$70,000 in legal fees, if not more. There's things that we eventually will bring before the council. And I don't want to get into it here, but there's an arrangement with the FAA where the county was struggling with the grant matches. So the county was giving them basically a lien hold on property in lieu of grant matches. And we don't know the exact value of that. My estimate is to $400,000. And it may make sense for the village to pay that off because like one of the reasons that the fire station, we've had that grant now for almost 4 years. And one of the reasons the fire station hasn't been built, the new fire station, is because we can't get approval from the FAA to start construction on their land. Where we want to put it, it's on property that they had this lien against or whatever technically it is. And it's just struggled to get approval from them. And it's not just the current administration, the prior administration and county had the same problems. So there are some things that I think we can do, and I think would be a great investment for the village to make that would allow us to fully develop that airport. And once we fully develop that airport, 163,000 in loss is going to be, I think we'll turn that into a $500 million a year profit center.
Yeah. I think there's probably gonna be some advantages to the high altitude for training for different fire people, things like that.
Yes.
And just, I mean, there are other issues that, the military has diminished significantly their usage of the airport over the last 18 months or so. And without getting into the details, I can tell you that's something we'll overcome the first week that we own it. And we'll start working on getting the military back. And that is a huge part of our ag fuel cells.
If you're not aware, it's the fourth highest airport in the United States. So landing at really high airports, drive your ground speed up, and it's a lot different for landings. And so it's a good thing to come and practice it. So that's an advantage.
Any other questions from council? All right, Martin.
Okay. Roll call vote on item C.
Mayor Pro Tem Howell,
Aye.
Councilor Weeks,
Aye.
Councilor Crane,
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard,
Aye.
pass.
Meetings adjourned.